All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting matchup of Echo Arena presented by VRML. Tonight's matchup, we have Spaghetti in orange versus Wireless Jacks in blue. In the studio, it was me, SirDimwi. I'll be doing the play-by-play tonight, joined by Reality Check VR in his first live cast. And of course, we have Palidore on cameras. How you doing, Reality?
Right. Hey, they're doing all right. Doing all right. Good to be here with you. I'm excited to be doing this cast with you guys, and of course, I'm just excited to see this matchup. We've been looking at these guys practicing, for the last few minutes, and it seems like they're going to be, quite the competition.
Definitely. I mean, we're definitely looking at a really solid matchup between these two teams. Both teams coming in with a rounded MMRs of 1,200 and records of 4-4. So both teams looking at a nice boost up or a boost down, depending on how this one turns out. You'll see whoever wins this matchup will kind of be pushing up into that top 8 spot. Right now, I believe Spaghetti's coming in 10th place, Wireless Chef coming in 12th. But we get to that. Not only would I expect that to flip if say Wireless Shacks were to beat out Spaghetti, but I would expect it to even go a bit further than that. So we can definitely expect a good fight out of both teams here.
Right, and as you said, because they are so even out right now, it's just going to be a huge fight. I can only imagine that they're both really excited to be playing this right now, and of course they've got it out for each other. So here we go. We've got it starting here in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, this definitely should be a good one. So, all right, and we have the initial joust going out right now. Joust won handily by Wireless Jacks. Lemon trying to track that disc down. Finally gets to picked up by Mini Hat. Mini Hat tosses it out to mid, bouncing around in the trap area. Picked up by Meatballer.
Cleared here. And yep, there they go. What a great clear.
Clear down into the blue bubble. Big fight for it. Wypern picks it up. He walks it into the goal and gets the first 2 of the game.
Slam
21 seconds
dunk.
in.
Wow, that was fast. I didn't expect it to go that quickly, but of course they are going to be trying really hard to get those points on the board as fast as they can.
And speed does appear to be the name of the game in this one as we come out now with Wireless Shacks on the joust advantage. So will.i.am with the disc.
Yep,
Pass out to 2, picked up by Gilligan. Up to Alchemy, but it's stolen there by Yperm. Yperm looking for the out pass. Almost picked off, but picked up now by Meatballer. Opts for the pass over to Al at center. Al going for the mail slot. He almost connects with it. Dings off of the crossbar there. Rebound picked up by Mini Hat. Mini Hat looking for the impasse. Goes across to Meatballer on the shield. Meatballer little juking around there to get that one in for 2.
Yeah, he had some guys in the goal right there trying to stop him, but unfortunately they had a lot of interference in their face as well as guys floating above them. It just didn't seem like they had a comfort position right there. So, of course, they got the goal again, 4 points to 0.
Wireless Jacks with the joust advantage. will.i.am with the disc. Pass out to Gilligan. Gilligan looking for the pass through mid. Picks up to the
Wireless Jacks is certainly being a little bit more cautious on this round right here. They want to get some points on the board.
will.i.am bringing it in. What a big save there by Al as Al picks that one off from will.i.am. Tries to get the clear, but it gets stuck in the trap. Now Lemon QT with the disc. Looking for the back pass going across to Alchemy. Alchemy trying to get back to either Lemon or Gilligan there on the side, but doesn't connect with it. Al gets a steal. Al now just opting for the clear. Maybe a little dump and chase, but no chains active at the moment. So we're just going to slow it down to pick that one up.
Right in his face. Here we go. Oh, and of course, 2 more points. They're making it look easy right now. Unfortunately, Spaghetti did not seem to have the actual defense in place right there. They're going kind of all out on offense, and that is a bit of a mistake right now.
So up, and we have a restart. I believe somebody on Spaghetti disconnected. Yeah. Was he the only one?
Was that?
Looks like they're really quick to get this. So they were definitely aware of what the situation was, and but it's 2 drops. That's a little concerning. But yeah, I guess we could go to, well, we can't go to stats because so yeah, but two solid goals. Looks like both goals from Spaghetti coming in off of what effectively amount to clear and boosts, but not a whole lot of boosting to get down there. Mostly solo players picking it up and walking it in. Maybe a whole bunch of fights going on in the backfield there.
Yeah, that first goal you saw him just slam dunked it right in there because he wasn't playing any games. He wanted to get those points. And after that, they were a little bit more comfortable and, of course, tossed it in right in front of him after getting a few actual, stuns, obviously. That's very important right there. If you're on the goal, you need to be getting those stuns. Otherwise, if the guys don't have their hands up, they've got all that room to defend. And I think it's really a key moment to obviously not only get in their face, but to try to stun them as much as possible. And obviously, they did that really quick and easy. Which gave the ability for the other team to get the points. Right now, I am, of course, excited to see what they're going to do next because I think that playing it slow as they did last time didn't quite work out for them. They need to actually have some kind of a plan to get in there and disrupt the defense of the other team. Otherwise, it's just going to be another pick and play where the team just keeps intercepting it from them.
Yeah, they do seem to they're able to enter. Wireless Jacks has been able to enter into the spaghetti offensive zone, but once they get around that bubble, it seems maybe a few missed passes or really ultimately, I believe it was steals, effective steals and interceptions from spaghetti. So that bubble defense from spaghetti really shining so far in the series, especially which every time they force that turnover, they've been able to clear it down and put it in. So far.
For sure. Yeah. And I think I misspoke earlier. I said spaghetti when I meant wireless jacks. As far as when it comes to defense, they were not able to have a guy in defense at all when spaghetti was coming down there and scoring on them. So the wireless jacks absolutely need to have at least one guy a little closer to the goal, considering it is a 4v4 match. They need to have some of that defense prepared when it is 6-on-0 right now, so early in the match.
So it does sound like we're getting some joins back finally. At least one so far. And two. Gotta wonder if they're if they're neighbors or maybe roommates for them to both pop out and pop back in right about at the same time.
Yeah, there could be some thunderstorms going around tonight, but no. I am interested to see, of course, how this season is going to play out. Doing 4v4 is something that, for me, there's just so much more action, on the field at one time. I'm used to, years in the past where it was always 3 versus 3, and just having that extra guy, it seems like there's just so much more speed. There's more grabs. There's just more opportunities for people to get down the field quicker. That the game just seems to, be much more a matter of position. Obviously being in the position in the right place, and of course having a teammate there that can back you up.
Yeah, and it does certainly change the dynamic when you're on the field for it. There's just no time. There's really so little time. At least it feels that way when you're used to 3v3. There's just no time to make a whole lot of decisions. You really, unless you've got that extra space available to you, really, you just gotta kind of you grab the disc and you make a decision,
Right.
and then move on from that decision.
Yeah, and you're
But
completely
it's
right.
definitely
You say you grab the disc and make a decision. It's like a split second. I mean, the map almost seems kind of large when you're looking at it from an outside perspective in third person, but when you're in there and you're actually playing the game, it's amazing how small it can feel in the sense that you've got so many guys closing in on that disc so quickly that you have to make these decisions so fast. That's why it's incredible when you see the guys using the teamwork, making the passes and making the grabs that they're doing. It takes a lot of practice to get that good. And of course, a lot of teamwork to be in the right positions to be able to grab onto your teammates and be in the right spot. So it's going to be a matter of who can use that teamwork better and who can actually grab onto their, obviously their teammates and get in that right position in the fastest, point possible. Otherwise, they're just not going to be able to defend properly or, of course, get those scores when they need to. And that's the beauty of this game is just playing with that.
So as we continue to wait, let's go ahead and acknowledge some of our viewers in chat here. We got C Jason, Sweet Potato, Rad Rumba, as he was called. Akami's wife is here. Nice to see her again. Let's see who else we got. Deep One Son, Zenith, and Lanzin. Lanzin, one of our most prolific watchers this season so far, of course. And Lanzin asking Pally to do a barrel roll.
Oh yes, I think Palidore knows all about the barrel rolls.
I believe I threw Palidore off the one day. It was for a wireless Shacks game, and I was looking over the teams, their statistics and all. And I saw I Am has a his icon is of the Star Fox ship and it says do a barrel roll underneath. So I just felt compelled to. The moment Palidore indicated that we were coming off of mute, I went ahead. It might have been wet even. I went ahead and threw out the do a barrel roll, and to not much appreciation.
That's awesome. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, in this game, I mean, not only can the characters, as you can see, go upside down if you're looking at the who's that right there? Is that lemon? Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't say all the names just yet, but I am learning. One of the things is when you're going upside down and everybody else is not upside down. Yeah, the map does look the same, but there's some kind of an eerie sense of how things feel, especially when you can see the scoreboard up top that's actually on bottom. It's weird how the world changes around when you start moving actually in there. Is that something that you do often, or how do you feel about that?
Sorry, what was the question?
As far as like barrel rolling and going upside down and changing your
Oh,
orientation in the game.
I in a limited capacity, I find that once I get upside down, it all tends to. I kind of feel a little discombobulated, and that's probably just a lack of exposure. It is something I'll do, like against inverted. I started to do it, but I pulled back from it because I've done it so in such a limited capacity recently. But it's something I'll do, like if the other team has a striker who's coming in upside down frequently, and it's causing me a little bit of trouble. I'll try to flip upside down just to kind of match his orientation, just make it a little bit easier for me to cover that individual. But very, very, very for me personally, very rare. But I do see it so much more frequently in the meta these days, especially with the younger kids. Obviously,
Absolutely.
Lemming was the first one to be upside down all the time. But
Hmm.
then we've got Zach and Andy coming in with the whirly twirly shots, which are being picked up by the younger guys, and then the younger guys are even doing it out in center field and out in space when they feel it might get them a little bit more room or maybe
Hmm.
cover a distance.
The whirly twirly shots, I like that, and yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that when I see it in competition or when I'm playing against others and they start doing those whirly twirly shots, I certainly do think it does have a benefit at certain times. It can not only confuse your teammates, but it can put you in a position where it makes it really hard or difficult to grab the disc and actually give the person a few more seconds, as it were, to do what they want to do. So I'm really interested to see how people use that as the game continues to go forward. And I myself, I do have some trouble doing it. When I first started playing, I started to flip around and go upside down and do all that kind of crazy stuff, and then I found that it got me a little bit too mixed up. I started punching my wall more then and getting into trouble more with my space. So I kind of stopped doing it. But the people that are able to do that, I mean, I think it takes a lot of effort and a lot of skill to do that. So props to them for being able to keep track of where they are in the actual physical space as well as in the virtual world. And to make advantage of that. So it is cool to see that. And unfortunately, we are having some trouble getting the fourth guy on the in the room, it seems. I'm not sure why that is, but hopefully we only have a few more seconds to wait before the game gets back on.
Yeah, you gotta. Hopefully everything's all right. I have heard someone join and leave a few times, so I wonder if maybe they're having some issues with the game itself and maybe not their own internet connection. Because somebody is coming and going so far.
All right. Well, yeah, I see the players here. They're trying to keep warm, and that is kind of funny because just like traditional sports, you don't want to get cold, and a situation like this, unfortunately, does exactly that. The players are getting hyped up. They're nervous to play. As we talked about at the beginning, 4-4. They're both even in the match, relatively in space, and they want to make this a W. So to be stuck here waiting and not being able to play is certainly going to frustrate a few of the players, and maybe hopefully make a few of the other players, a little more on point, so that they can actually get in the zone. But no doubt, when I'm getting ready to play something, I get my nerves up, and it's always kind of a letdown when you have to wait for a while. But like I said, hopefully it gets here very quickly. In the meantime, I do notice that it seems like the orange team is just kind of sitting here in the goal while blue team is shooting on them. I hope this is not a retrospect to the actual game itself. But
I'd be a little concerned for Spaghetti because it was this is probably not in their favors. They were the ones with the momentum as we came into this pause. So now cooling down, it might be what maybe makes it a little bit easier for Jax to turn it back around on them to kick it up early on.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, as soon as the game gets starting, that's going to be the first thing we're going to look for is who can pull this momentum and who's going to take that energy. Because there's no doubt that the people, on Jacks are sitting there thinking to themselves, how can we get, this to turn around? What can I do better? What was my mistake? What were these guys doing better in the first couple rounds? And they're going to be trying to fix all those mistakes. And as I said at the beginning, I do think that some of those mistakes are very simply just them needing to slow down on their approach and making sure that they have the position to make the passes to get that actual goal. They need to be in alignment to not just be giving away free interceptions. And of course, second to that, they also need to have a guy that is somewhat close to the goal, because it seemed like Spaghetti had just a nice easy run on them at least a few times there without much of a fight. So that's at least my advice for them. Hopefully they are able to do those things, because I want to see a close game. Like any competition, I always want to see a close game, not only for my own self, but because the players involved, they put a lot of hard work into this, and I think that they deserve to have a match that shows off that hard work. So,
And
all right.
so word is we might be seeing, if we can't get this fourth player back in, we might be seeing a 3-on-4 to continue on, because we are pushing time. I didn't check the time when the pause happened, but I know we are pushing up probably close to 10 minutes here, if not over, in this pause. And these timeouts, according to the rules, are only supposed to be allotted for 5 minutes, but just Wireless Jacks being the good guys they are, being affording them a little bit more leeway as Spaghetti tries to figure out what the issue is and get their fourth guy back in. But in about a minute, we will see this game continue on 4v3 if Spaghetti can't get their fourth back in.
Right. That is unfortunate, of course, for Spaghetti, and as we talked about earlier, it's certainly going to impact the momentum if we have to go into a 3 versus 4. It doesn't mean that they can't pull it off. It's just going to make it that much more difficult for them to do so, and they're going to have to use a lot of teamwork. And not to speculate too much on why the guy didn't get to come back in, but there's so many issues when we're talking about these virtual esports and getting people to connect from different areas. So there's a various amount of reasons that it could be that he can't join in, as opposed to system issues. It could just be simply there's a network outage in his area right now. I actually have several friends dealing with that currently in America. So who knows?
Mrs. Alchemy in chat asking they wouldn't be given a sub. And no, it's on the team. They can find a sub, but it's on them to connect with that person and get them in. So they wouldn't be given a sub, but they do have the option of bringing one in as we now come out back into. I'm not sure who has up. Disc is starting at center, and I don't believe that was intentional. But we do have a fight for the. Okay, I guess, yeah, we're just moving on. All right, so Alchemy moving in now with the disc, clearing it down to goal. Saved by Al. Looks like maybe they're going to reset again.
Holding on. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're actually going full in here. I believe that what you said at the beginning. You're going to fix that disc issue.
Yeah. That's something we've seen before. Some teams will just opt to just go ahead and play on, but since it was Wireless Jack's disc, they do have it is their prerogative to call for that reset and get the disc set properly here. But of course, we are going to have to see another reset because they are having it set still to round 1 of 3. So once we go into game 2, once the game 1 here ends, we'll have to do another restart to get the clock back set to 10 minutes for the start of round 2.
Okay, well, this is going to be quite exciting. I'm actually kind of see how this is going to go, because I mean, I've never really seen a 3v4 match go in the favor of the team that has less people. I mean, this game is a lot about control, and as we were talking about before, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Very interesting. So now we are starting again with Wireless Jacks with the Joust advantage as we come in back to start this game again. So will.i.am with the disc. Pass out to the left tube area, going all the way down to Lemon. QD does connect with it. Lemon under attack, but Mini Hack goes for the shot, but dings it off the bottom bar there. So now Gilligan with the disc, but stolen by Al. What a steal by Al as he clears it down center. And we might have that fourth player back in here. I did hear the notification go off, but Al here uncontested as he gets
Oh,
Gilligan did get back to the net there, but doesn't quite connect with that save.
To me, yeah, that was interesting. It looked on my screen almost like it got bumped in by the Jacks team. So yeah, wow. 9-0 right now. We have 4v4. It didn't seem like that advantage went to Wireless Jacks at all, and now Spaghetti has their 4th player back.
Now Gilligan with the disc. He's challenged by Al, but will.i.am is able to wrangle that one back in. Pass out to Alchemy. Alchemy going down to Lemon QT. Coming in one-on-one with the goalie. Gets the shot on goal from 3 meters away. 2 points from Lemon QT.
Well, there you go. That was it. That was the turnaround shot, right? 2 points for Wireless Jacks. Finally, they're on the board.
And just in time for Meatballer to get back into the game. So we are going to be seeing a 4-on-4 again. So now Mini Hat goes for a slap off the QB, gets it out to Al, who does get it downfield before getting stunned out, but it's picked up now by will.i.am. will.i.am looking for the out pass, taking his time, not taking any chances, looking for anybody to open up. Wow. So many stuns going out right now. He opts to just go ahead and clear it. So now picked up by Al. Go ahead.
He didn't take any seconds left. I mean, he literally waited to the last moment right there, which is very dangerous to do in his position, but it didn't seem like he had any teammates that were ready for him.
So Mini Hat had a really good opportunity there on goal, but stunned out and stolen by Lemon QT, who opts for another clear here. So let's see, it's going to be down to the race. It looks like Spaghetti is just ahead of Jax. But Jax coming in strong, does pick up the disc off of me, but he's stunned out by Al. He's stunned out by Gilligan, who's able to pop that one in.
Wow. At first, when it bounced down there, I thought that it might have a chance of going in for a 3. And then, of course, after it bounced off the wall, we just had to have that stun before he launched it in there. Of course, 4 points right now unanswered. So let's see how this can go for them.
Now Spaghetti with the joust advantage. Mini Hat with the disc. Again, really quick pass out the left tube there over to YPerm. YPerm going across the floor over to Al. Al doesn't connect with it. Almost picked up by Meatballer. Does finally connect with it. Gets a cross back over to YPerm. But he's stunned out by, look like Alchemy. Alchemy now just opting to clear it out, not taking any chances with that. We're going to see a race. And looks like Lemon QT is there first. Tries to go off the backboard, but Al with a big save on the backboard there. Going to clear that one out. Gets stuck in trap and now back in their trench.
Yeah, I believe he made a mistake by going off the backboard. The front seemed to be open right there. So that was a devastating shot right there for them. Unfortunately, did not end up with any points. But it's great that they're able to clear it so quickly back there. Right now we've got, of course, play coming right back at him.
Now Mini Hat with the disc coming in on the bubble, unchallenged until I said it, of course. Cross pass to Meatballer, and Meatballer coming in on the goal. What a save by will.i.am on that shot in front. Now the disc is loose on that far wall there, picked up by Al. Al going for the in pass to YPerm. YPerm trying to cut in, doesn't have the angle on it, ends up hitting the top bar of the goal. And I picked up by Lemon QT, challenged by I'm not sure by who, but now we just have a scrum for the disc. Mini Hat looks like he's going to be able to collect on it. So he's going to slow it down a little bit, let his team reorganize, and look for the in pass again.
Yeah, Wireless Jacks had the ability there a couple times to get the interception, but unfortunately they cleared it a little too quickly. They didn't take the time to set up an actual pass, and I think they're right now just a little freaking out. They want to get this disc away from their area, and there we go. 3 points off the bounce-in shot after getting stunned in the face.
Yeah, what a goal there by Al, as I believe it was YPerm was assaulting the goalie, stunned him out, and allowed for that backward shot to go in. So now Wireless Jacks with the joust advantage. will.i.am with the disc goes to the floor here to Alchemy, who clears to the ceiling, passes to the ceiling to Lemon QT, who's now able to walk it in. He is challenged by Meatballer. Trying to make a little bit of space for him, goes for the cross pass to Alchemy. Alchemy coming in one-on-one with the goalie and makes it. 2 points for Alchemy, 5 meters away.
He made that look easy. He just kind of undershot it right there under the goalie's arms, and that is just a difficult shot. When somebody gets that close to you, it is just kind of a guessing game.
It is a bit of a guessing game. Yeah, those are hard to save there. So Spaghetti again with a joust advantage. Mini Hat with the disc. Gets stunned out by Gilligan. Gilligan with an empty net.
Incredible.
Doesn't connect on it, but Alchemy picks up the rebound, puts it in for 2.
Yeah, they've been trying that every single round. I've been watching them for the last 4 or 5 rounds fly down there as fast as possible every time they were not, holding the offense. And it seemed like that was the first time they actually connected with it, but great job by them. They didn't get the 3. They got the 2, though.
So now Spaghetti again with the disc. Mini Hat does get the pass off. Look like a stun went out on that attacking chain. This now in the blue trap area, picked up by Lemon QT, who goes for the maybe a boop shot attempt. Doesn't quite connect on it. Al is back there to collect it. Al now looking for the out pass for his team. Taking his time, not under incredible pressure at the moment.
Yeah, Spaghetti's
Opts
job right
for
now,
the-
they need to just hold this disc a little bit longer and make sure they don't keep turning it over as fast as they were the previous rounds.
And Mini Hat on the floor. His team setting up around the bubble. Unchallenged, who's going to hold it and let his team make some space for themselves. So cross pass over to Meatball.
I think this is the smartest thing. Yeah, this is a great thing to see right now, because exactly that the score was actually leading them, and here they go. As you can see, 2 more points on the board. That really goes to show taking a moment to recoup, and of course take away some of that steam that their opponent was having right there. And clearly, each of these send-offs, each of these rounds, they are getting down there very, very fast. Wireless Jacks are trying very hard to change this.
So now with a minute and a half left, we have a 6-point deficit in favor of Spaghetti. will.i.am with the disc. Passes it over to Gilligan. Gilligan cross pass to will.i.am. will.i.am going across to the Alchemy. It goes across to Lemon QT. Doesn't connect on it, and now Al will collect that disc. Al taking his time before he dumps it, maybe allowing his team to open up some passing lanes. Pass out to Meatball at mid.
They are definitely slowing down a little bit every time they get the disc right now. Their plan is to just slow the clock down.
So Mini Hat going up to Al. Al moving in on the bubble. He does have some pass options. Instead, he jukes around a little bit, but does get stunned out. will.i.am with the steal and the clear attempt picked up by Meatballer. Meatballer now, again, taking his time, as you said, just running that clock, playing the clock game. Al moving in, does have a good opportunity, but taken out by Lemon, who does get the clear off. So it will be a race now for this disc.
30 seconds remaining.
Picked up by Alchemy in the orange bubble. Puts it in for the 3, right on the edge of the line.
Yeah, that was very close there. I was thinking that he was actually going to take a step back to make sure that he was going to get those 3 points, because at this point they really need to just have one other 3-point shot, and going for the 2 wasn't going to be an advantage for them. So I'm really excited to see that he did get that 3.
Well, they have about 5 seconds to get down there, get this disc, and put it in. But Spaghetti comes out quickly and just dumps it to their trap area to protect that lead, and it will go to Spaghetti, 14-11 in game 1.
That was incredible, considering all things that happened in there, going from 4 players to 3 players to having a round with less people that didn't actually help them at all, in the sense that they were able to, just actually get scored on. And then right after that, they came back so ferociously, but unfortunately not enough, fast enough.
And so I did get a look at the team stats before the reset came in. And as we were saying, Spaghetti with they kind of dominated that game in possession time. I believe they had about 2.5 minutes, maybe 2:40 to about a minute, just over a minute for Wireless Jacks. So that possession definitely being what paid off for Spaghetti in this game, as we saw every time they entered that blue zone. Really took their time, really let their guys set up around the bubble. Really didn't take any particularly dangerous passes. Really playing it safe as they moved in.
Yeah, and I think at the beginning of the game they didn't even have to playing it too safe, because they didn't have anybody defending the goal. And then right after that, as you said, they just completely took advantage of the situation of being in control from the get-go, and just took it nice and slow. So let's see how they're going to do right here now that they've got it 0-0.
So it's the start of game round 2. Spaghetti up 1-0 in the series. Wireless Jacks wins that joust convincingly, but it is picked up by Al, who does clear it down. Was online for the goal, but unfortunately the crow's nest got in the way. So now the disc picked up by Alchemy. Alchemy taking his time, giving his team time to move out. Does opt for the it looks like a clear attempt through tube. Picked up now by Lemon, but stunned out by Meatballer. Meatballer now with the disc, looking for his options. Opts for the clear. Does get it into the blue zone. It is picked up by Al. Al looking for that long 3. It will be close, but not quite. Now picked up by Gilligan. Gilligan just tossing it back to center.
Yeah, that was a great attempt right there. I thought that it had an opportunity, but unfortunately it did not. It is one thing to see that they're both just kind of swatting the disc around. They're not trying to control too much. They're just trying to get it out of their area as fast as possible right now.
So Meatballer wrangles that disc, dumps it back into the blue zone. It will cross close in front of that goal, but not quite in. But it picked up now by Mini Hat. Mini Hat coming in one-on-one with the goalie. Will he get some defenders in? No. Mini Hat a little twirly as he brings it in for a 3-meter 2.
The whirly twirly goal. I saw it right there. That was beautiful. As he corkscrewed right down there, it makes it much more difficult for the goalie to not only see where he's going to throw it, but of course where the disc's going to end up in the long run.
Fantastic goal there by Mini Hat as we now start Wireless Shacks again. Excuse me, Spaghetti. Yeah, Wireless Shacks with Joust advantage. Will I am with the disc. A short pass to Alchemy. Alchemy trying to get it through tube and does trying to get it to Lemon, but it's picked up instead by Mini Hat. So Mini Hat now moving it through mid, looking for his pass options. Does get a pass off and connects with Y-Perm at the stacks of blue. Y-Perm going across the owl, but he does get stunned out by that stack from Wireless Jacks.
Great pressure. Great pressure.
Alchemy trying to clear that one out, but it bounces kind of back towards their bubble. Picked up now by Lemon QT. It goes across to Gilligan. Gilligan now taking his time, letting his team set up for some sort of out past the mid. Tries to get to the Alchemy there on the ceiling. Doesn't connect with it. And now it's bounced back into their trench. Picked up by Gilligan again. Looking for the Alchemy in the tunnel. Again, doesn't connect with it, and it's still in their zone. As looks like Mini Hat now with the disc. He is under pressure, goes cross pass to Meatball, does connect with it. Meatball going into the bubble area to Y-Perm. Y-Perm shooting it from the edge of the bubble and does connect with it with two defensive players on him and a goalie in the net. What a shot there by Y-Perm.
Now, Spaghetti, good. They did amazing job what they just did right there. They just had a complete control of the disc the entire time, and they did not let the Wireless Jacks allow themselves to get out of their half. I mean, their entire side was just full of the disc the entire time.
Will I am with the disc. Pass the right tube there to Gilligan. Gilligan going back to Will I am. Stolen by Al. Al is looking at an empty net. He doesn't connect on it, and it is picked up by, slapped out by Will I am. Now, by Alchemy. Now a scrum for it in the blue bubble. Gilligan is able to pop that one out, still in their zone. Now picked up by Meatballer. Meatballer looking for the pass. He does have a few options open to him, but he opts to hold on to it for a moment. Goes to Mini Hat, is open on the floor, coming in on the goalie, and he does get it in for another 2 from 2 meters away.
14, 13, 12, 11.
Okay, so I think that Spaghetti is onto something right here. They know that they can really pressure Jax as long as they get in there very quickly. And so I think the Jax needs to really, really take a moment to get this disc out of their end. They really need to concentrate here.
So now Will I am with the disc, pass up to the trap area, picked up by Alchemy. Alchemy trying to go across the Lemon, does connect with it. Despite the bounce, Lemon now moving in, not under too much pressure. So he's going to hold to give some space, to make some time and space for his team. Now he's coming in on goal, goes cross pass to Gilligan, does connect with it, and Gilligan pops it in for that too. What a beautiful setup there by Wireless Shack.
I feel like I can almost feel the frustration from the players on Wireless Jacks right now, because as we all know, when you're playing this game, you can know what you want to do, but sometimes it just doesn't always work out for you. And twice in a row, they had rounds that did not quite work out for them. Finally, they were able to do what they were trying.
And now Spaghetti opts to it looked like that might have been a headbutt off of that launch, just not letting Jax any opportunity to come in and steal that from them on that initial joust. So now Lemon QT does get the slap out to Alchemy. Alchemy picks it up, is stunned up by Al. Al now looking for the out pass. Does connect with Y-Perm. Y-Perm now under pressure from Lemon. Y-Perm looking for Al. Gilligan intercepts, but Al steals it back. Now floor pass to Meatballer. Meatballer not a whole lot of options. There's a goalie in goal and a defender on him. He's looking for his back pass. Not a whole lot of options for him. Does get a cross pass to Y-Perm. Y-Perm now on that left frame. Does come in on the goalie one-on-one, but Will I am makes an amazing save. But when he tries to throw that one out, Al picks it up and pops it right back in for that too. What a goal.
I'm actually surprised that was not a three-pointer. He was right on the edge right there, and it was just 2 points. Good for Wireless Jacks because it allows them to only be 2 shots behind, just 2 3-pointers behind Spaghetti at this point. But man, they need to actually do a little bit better on the ball control, the disc control. Calling the thing a ball. Wow.
Will I am. Well, honestly, it is. I mean, it doesn't have that shield around it, so it is kind of a ball. I think it's totally fair to call it a ball.
It does have a sphere shape to it. That's for sure.
So now Alchemy gets that disc away from Y-Perm. Gilligan picks it up and is able to clear that one out all the way down. So we are going to see a race for this disc. Spaghetti is there first, but they overshoot it. Now picked up by Lemon. Lemon looking for his pass options, has a little bit of time, takes all the time he needs, goes to Alchemy on the ceiling. Alchemy comes in, dropping in from the ceiling, 5-meter throw for 2.
I think it shows a lot of actual patience by Wireless Jacks to be able to get down there, to be behind, and to still take that moment to compose themselves, to set up themselves for the shot. And that's what you have to do if you want to be a team that's going to win. I mean, we've got several minutes left in the game, and a lot can happen before that's up.
Now, Minihat just slapping that one out again. It looks like that's the strategy they're going to be rolling with. Does connect to the man in tube. Does get down to Meatballer, who does have an empty net to put it in for an easy 3. I believe that was a 3.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that one. That was a wide open 3-pointer. Unfortunately for Wireless Jacks, they have just had this problem a few different times where they're just not sure who's staying behind, and unfortunately, nobody was that time.
Now, will.i.am with disc goes for the drop to Tretch to Alchemy. Alchemy now taking his time, letting his team set up here as he sets up in mid himself. Draws a defender in, gets away from the defender, cross pass to will.i.am. will.i.am going up to Gilligan. Gilligan has a cross option to Lemon. Lemon coming in one-on-one with the goalie, and he does make it in. 2 points.
Well, we're seeing some answering back and forth here. You get 2, I take 2, you take 2, I take 2. All right, so right now we need to actually have Wireless Jacks stop Spaghetti a few times, or else they're not going to have a chance right now. They're 4 points behind. 5 points behind, just to tie.
And just under 3 minutes left in this game. Minihat opts for that slap again to the right tube. Does connect to Yprom. Yprom now up to Meatballer. Meatballer coming one-on-one with the goalie. Tries to go for some sort of twist and turn as he came in. Doesn't connect with the goal. And now Yprom had picked up that loose disc, but it was wrangled by Gilligan. Back to Lemon. Lemon opts for the clear. Now we're going to have a race, and it looks like Spaghetti's going to be here first. Picked up now by Al. Al looking for his pass-out options. Opts for the clear.
Yeah, this is where that positioning is going to be so important right now. Wireless Jacks need to be in the right position, and I can understand why they're going to be a little bit more. But if they're going to do that, they need to capitalize on these discs right now. They need to score.
Lemon trying to dump that one into the orange bubble, but Al there to grab that one and dump it right back into the blue area. Now it is we do have 2 players from either team right around this disc. We do see a little fight for it. Looks like Gilligan might pick it up, stunned out, but he does get the slap off, and it's going almost gets down to orange, but now stuck in the blue trap area. Picked up by Alchemy, does get that clear. But that clear picked up immediately by Al, who returns it right back into the blue zone, but bounced back in to mid, and now picked up by Meatballer.
Wow, yeah, this is really going back and forth. Spaghetti, I think they're going to start doing what they did before, which is slow down and try to take some of that clock time away.
So cross pass to Yprom, immediately stunned, picked up by Gilligan. Gilligan offs for the clear into the orange zone. And we're going to have another race for this disc. will.i.am does get there, but doesn't have the angle on that shot and just misses the goal.
Yeah.
But Wireless Jacks still in control.
Wireless Jacks needs to take advantage, and they do. They do. 2 points right there for them. That was key for them, I believe, to stay in this game. With only a minute left, there's no doubt that Spaghetti is going to be holding the disc every time they get a chance and being very, very careful with it from this point forward. So it's going to be a match of getting stuns and trying to get in that area.
So we have a similar situation now to what we had last game, except Wireless Jacks do have a little bit more time. They're down by 3 now with 40 seconds left in this game. Yprom controlling that disc, does get the pass out to Al on the tube. Al dumping to the floor. Not a dump, excuse me, a pass to Meatballer on the floor. Meatballer opted for the back pass, doesn't connect with anybody. It's stuck up in the trap area there. We will see a small fight, a little bit of a fight for this, but Al is the one who walks away with it. Al now just making a little room, a little bit of time, tries to get it up to Yprom, doesn't connect with it. will.i.am now takes that disc, gets the pass off to Lemon. Lemon with the out pass to nobody, unfortunately, but will anybody wrangle that one up? No, it's picked up by Meatballer. He goes for the dump back into the blue zone, and now with only 9 seconds left, this might be it for Wireless Jacks in this game. Gilligan now with the disc, but with only 3 seconds left. It's looking like this will be 11-8 in favor of Spaghetti, who will go 2 up in the series and take it.
Wow. I could say I did not quite expect to see that at the end right there, but to see Wireless Jacks try so hard at the end, I feel like they had a really good opportunity even with 25 seconds left. They had that pass going across the middle, but unfortunately they just overshot it just a bit and weren't able to actually catch it. And from that point forward, Spaghetti just had the disc and had control. So congratulations to Spaghetti for that.
Now looking at the team stats, we did see Wireless Jacks make up a lot of that possession time coming in after round 2. Both teams right about 3 minutes of possession, but then you look at shots taken, 13-6 in favor of Spaghetti. Spaghetti able to capitalize more on their offensive opportunities, and Wireless Jacks were able to, despite both teams maintaining about equal possession. And of course, Wireless Jacks 5 saves, 5 saves. Let's see who.
Oh, wow. Looks like between the two, Gilligan and will.i.am. Oh, as far as Akami as well. Wow.
I still have audio, but my hotkeys are no longer working, so I can't see any of the stats.
Oh, hey.
That's fun. And as we go into this this exhibition round 3, but of course points do matter in your MMR. It's hard to see it with the way they display MMRs as they round to the nearest 10th, but points the point differential in games does matter. So these game 3s, I feel like exhibitions really do really are more than just exhibitions, as Gilligan now steals that disc in the orange bubble, but picked up by I believe that was Meatballer, who's able to toss that one out, and it goes all the way into the blue end.
Yeah, not only do points matter, but just being able to, play against your opponent, whether or not it's going to get you the win overall. Having a win or lose in any game is going to, of course, get you the respect and the notoriety that you want when you're playing these kind of competitions. So they're going to be trying as hard as they were just in the previous matches, I'm sure of it, if not harder.
Especially the exposure to the pressure of of the casted official game and all that definitely helps in the long run. Seeing any bit of that you can. Now, what a cross pass from Gilligan to will.i.am to get that first 2 of this game 3.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen Wireless Jacks actually jump on the board first before Spaghetti. So we could see something different happen this round, I'm sure of it.
So now Spaghetti with the joust advantage. First they opt again for the slap out to left tube. Unfortunately, nobody there, so it's picked up by Lemon. Lemon passing, looks like a dump into the orange bubble. No one there to corral it. Akami with pressure on the goalie, but it's picked up by Y-Perm. Y-Perm under pressure from Lemon. Does get the pass out to Meatballer at left tube. Meatballer is able to juke around and get a shot on the open net. Wow. Almost connects with it, dinging it off the backside. Mini Hat almost corrals that disc to get this shot at that, but Gilligan able to get the one out of the bubble. Picked up now by Lemon. Lemon able to dump it back into the orange zone. But Al just sitting back in his own bubble, not letting Wireless Jacks get any clear and boost attempts here. So now Mini Hat with the disc in the right tube. Mini Hat going for an empty net shot, doesn't connect on it, and now picked up by Meatballer. Meatballer looked for the cross pass. Finally gets it out to Mini Hat. Mini Hat now juking around on that mini block. Goes cross pass to Meatballer, who takes a shot but doesn't quite connect on it. Now picked up by Al, one-on-one with the goalie. What a save there by will.i.am.
That was an amazing save.
So clear from Wireless Jacks, picked up by Al. Al looking for the cross pass, goes for a dump in the tube, but he does have teammates there to pick that one up. Meatballer with the disc, shoots for the empty net, and he does connect with it, 19 meters away, 3-point.
Yeah, I feel like just a moment ago, Wireless Jacks had a guy in the the defensive position. They're perfectly positioned, and then just after a second throw, they went right back, and unfortunately, they weren't there again. Bad for them. But Wireless Jacks is very, very good on these launches I've been seeing.
Now, will.i.am with the disc, passes it out to Gilligan, and gets it up to, I believe that was Akami. Akami down to Lemon. Will Lemon be able to get this one back? Unfortunately, no. Picked up now by Al. Al going to right tube to Y-Perm. Y-Perm now furthest man up, so he's going to take a little bit of time with this, not take any unnecessary chances as he's under fire from Akami. He does get the pass off to Al. Al ducks under Lemon and does shoot for 3 into what is surprisingly an open goal.
Yeah, Wireless Jacks seems to be doing a little different play style here, and it's not really working for him, because having that goal wide open is just it's never good when you got opponents that are this good at shooting.
So now will.i.am with the disc, goes short pass to Gilligan. Gilligan now looking for his options. Option opens up, goes downfield, but nobody there. They do boost down for it. They try to get the stun off, but the clear goes out. Pass up to Meatballer. Meatballer now looking at an empty net. Opts for the boop shot. This might have it, and he does.
Yes,
36
that was a
meters.
Beautiful bounce. Spaghetti has not only been composed a little bit more so than the Wireless Jacks, but having that ability to make a shot like that, I'm not sure how purposeful it was, but it looked like it was just right on the money.
Yeah, we know those boob shots. It's you can use that. I call it biggin. I don't know what everyone else calls that block, but aiming for the pretty much the top of the cone as it points to the ceiling there gives you a fair chance of getting it. I'm not so successful with it, but I know some of my teammates are. Now,
Absolutely, and Wireless Jax has been so good at doing some of these launches and even playing the defense on them. They just haven't been able to capitalize on position the same way that Spaghetti has been, as far as composure and player position.
now Gilligan with the disc does connect to Lemon, who's got two players around him. Lemon opting to pass out to Alchemy. Alchemy looking at
Wide
an empty
open.
net. Oh, and just barely misses it, dinging off the edge of the corner there. Cleared out by Spaghetti. Mini Hat trying to connect on that and doesn't quite. So now Gilligan with the disc. Gilligan turning it around, giving some time and space for his teammates. Goes to pass up to, I didn't quite catch who that was. I believe that was Alchemy. Alchemy now with the disc. Alchemy passing up to nobody, coming back down into Trench. Alchemy now, the 3D self pass, gets stunned out by Meatballer. Meatballer now just clearing it down casually into the blue end. Picked up by Lemon.
I think we all know you really don't get those opportunities very often where the goal is wide open. So you have to take advantage of every single one of those opportunities. And when you don't, you're just going to be beating yourself up afterwards the entire time. And I think that's what happened there with Wireless Jax, is they had that wide open goal and they took way too long to even shoot at it. And even when they did shoot at it, it was just in the wrong position. So, you know, things like that really have a chance to change the game. And here we are minutes later with no scores on the board. So they have to take advantage when they get those opportunities.
So the disc cleared back down in the blue zone. Gilligan picks it up, but gets stunned out by Ow. Ow now moving in on a goalie under fire and does get that 4 meter in for 2.
Well, it looks like this game has the possibility of ending in a mercy, it seems like.
The 9-point differential with 3.5 minutes left, it is possible. Now, Will I Am with the disc goes cross pass to, I believe that was Gilligan. Gilligan looking for Alchemy, doesn't connect with it, and then but does get all the way down to Lemon, but Lemon doesn't quite get it. Mini Hat is able to pick that one up and tries to clear that back out to left tube. Now,
yeah, he was able to clear it.
Going for another boop shot, doesn't connect with it, but he does have Y-Perm down there to pick that one up and put it in for an easy 2. So now with just under 3 minutes left, we are looking at 13-2 in this game 3. Just as a reminder, Spaghetti did take the series 2-0 in the first 2 games. Now, Lemon with the I've seen this setup before. Looked like they were trying to hand it back to each other. It doesn't work out, though. And now Y-Perm looking at an empty net, but does ding it off. But Al there to pick that one up, bouncing it off the ceiling. Is challenged here by Jax. Jax are able to get it away from him. Now Gilligan with the disc.
Yeah, right now Wireless Jax is got to play for their pride right now. They got to play for the later games, you know, for people in the future that are going to be watching them and going up against them. They want to do well, so hopefully they can turn this around and get some points on the board.
Mini Hat looked like he feigned an anchor shot there on Shield, just kind of tossed it in slowly at what looked like 3 goalies. But now Y-Perm with the disc, passing it over to Al. Al looking for the out pass, opts to looks like he was just trying to clear it out, but it bounces back into his zone, picked up by Lemon. Lemon does have an empty net. He does go for it, and he does make it from 18 meters away. No hesitation from Lemon QT.
All right.
So now Spaghetti with the joust advantage.
It's good to see them get some points on the board. I think it's going to hopefully reinvigorate them here for this last minute and a half gameplay.
So we see another slap or maybe even a headbutt there. Picked up by Y-Perm. Y-Perm under heavy pressure from Wireless Jax, but he does get the pass out to Mini Hat. Mini Hat now going to the floor to Meatballer. Meatballer does have Al on the far side. Al does connect with it and does get it in for that too from the pass in from Meatballer.
Now, what I've noticed here is that although the game only has about a minute left in it, the players certainly are going to be a little bit tired, considering that we had that big, long wait in between when the game started and after it was going again. And those little things do tire people out, you know, considering that you have a lot of energy, adrenaline inside your system. And after, you know, here we've been playing for 30 minutes plus, and it certainly takes a toll on these players. You know, even though it doesn't use as much physical activity as maybe some other things do, it uses quite a bit of your of your awareness and of course brain power. Wow.
So now, Will, I am just taking his time in the trap. Does opt for the clear in. Wyperm there, excuse me. Now Al with the disc, able to pick that one up. Al now just taking his time, letting that clock run. If no one's going to challenge him, he'll just hold on to it. He does have some pass options. Does go to the right tube to Wyperm. Wyperm just dumps it into the blue zone. It is picked up by Will I Am, and now by Gilligan. Gilligan going for the mail slot. Doesn't quite connect on it. But it is picked up by Gilligan, does get his own rebound, and he does put it in for that 3 to end this series. But that will be the end, coming in 15-8 in game 3. And that will be a 3-0 sweep to Spaghetti.
Those points are so important too. So he got those extra 3 points right there at that last minute. And who knows what that can actually mean for him later on in the season.
And just by the way those MMRs are displayed, for all we know, that could be the difference between, you know, a position 9 or position 8. But if you are one of those higher teams, that could be the difference between 4th place and 5th place, which would keep you out of the championship. So those points definitely are important when you're considering the overall.
Right. And as far as team stats, yes, Spaghetti overall looks like they had the 6 minutes and 36 seconds, just 15 seconds more than Wireless Jack. So it was very, very close on possession. The only difference was shots taken. I mean, 28 shots on Spaghetti compared to the 15 shots taken there with Wireless Jacks. I mean, that really shows you where the game was going. Whoever shoots more is going to have more opportunities to make goals.
And what would be seen as quite the rarity, if we're looking at, as I'm looking down individual stats before they disappear here, Wyperm and Gilligan tying on stuns, 56, which is not typical to see when Gilligan's in a game. Gilligan usually getting the game high on stuns, but he is tied in this series. Well, the series after the I guess the second 2 games of the series, tying with Wyperm. But then otherwise, we're looking at so much action from Spaghetti as everyone on Wireless Jack steps out. So I'm not getting the read on their individual stats. We did see 9 points from Meatballer, 9 points from Al. Mini Hat and Wyperm both pulling up 4 points. So everybody getting in on the goals. Assists across the board, 2, 3, and 3. Wyperm, Meatballer, and Al respectively. And then saves also across the board, 1 for Mini Hat, 2 to Meatballer, 2 to Al. And of course, Alchemy's still in the game. We can talk about he's got 2 points and 3 saves. And of course, a steal that was probably very important.
Right. And I'm actually really glad that you brought up the fact that they were so similar on stuns, because I genuinely believe that that's a huge, obviously it's a big part of the game, but it's very, very important when you look at the amount of stuns that people have, because it can have a very large impact on the end game on where the player's position is. I mean, putting that stun on somebody makes them stop obviously in space, and that can really affect where they are when they're trying to get in the right spot, and allows you to score much quicker. And of course, Team Spaghetti had 122 stuns, just a few less than the 131 of Wireless Jacks, but that is so similar right there. And because it was so similar, the game of course showed that. I do believe if they would have gone one way or the other, it would have had a larger impact on the end game.
And I can just say, as somebody who does play with Gilligan on a fairly regular basis, both in casual league and scrims between our teams, as we are fairly friendly with each other, that playing with somebody who is that proficient with their stuns can not only does it have an immediate impact on the game itself, as far as how it affects the flow and all that, but it can also have an impact on your mental game as you keep getting stunned out by the same guy. It can definitely get a little aggravating when you just want to get that shield up, and sometimes you do get it up, but you get beat by Ping, and not throwing any of his skill level to Ping. Obviously, he earns his mantle, but yeah, it's definitely something that does have a big impact on the game.
Absolutely. Well, I had a great time casting here with you, buddy, and I'm really excited to see some more games here in the future, and of course be back for some future events here in the next following weeks. So I think that's going to be
yeah. And so I guess we'll end it there. That'll do it for us. We do have some more games tonight, however. Another one from Wireless Jacks against Ironic. That's going to happen at 9:00 Central. Which is just in about 40 minutes. It's actually 9:05 Central. And then at 9:30 Central, we have Synapse versus Ignite. So both of those matchups are probably going to be fantastic matchups. Very excited to see both of them myself. So yeah, so make sure to join us in. Not sure who exactly is going to be on the cast. Definitely going to have Sputnik and Palidore on the Synapse Ignite game, and I'm sure we'll see some familiar faces on Ironic and Wireless Jacks. So for VRML, I am SirDimwi. That was Palidore on cameras, Reality Check VR with me in the studio, and we thank you for joining us. Go have a good night.
Take care.